Today's patio chat is being brought to you locally by Westridge Furniture in Delphus. See it all at your finer outdoor furniture store.
Welcome back, everyone. Cory Noonan is with us today, Allen County Commissioner, on this beautiful, every time you come out, it's sunny.
Fantastic.
I'm not saying it's anything to do with you, but it seems pretty coincidental. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the budget process. You're just now kind of kicking things off, right?
Yeah, 'tis the season.
Yeah.
You know, the primary responsibility of the commissioners is the budgeting, right? We have a great team in Allen County, all of our elected officials and department heads, but it really comes down to the dollars and cents to make that go forward. We begin that process now. We start to put together, you know, what the wants and the requests are. We sit down with all the elected officials and department heads, spend a couple months doing that. Then you know, we know the bookends. We have a commission, the budget commission, that lets us know, hey, this is what we're projecting for 2023. Now we have to fit it into that, you know, to those bookends, and then hopefully by the mid-December we have an idea, and we can meet with them and kind of convey that, and then we pass it in January.
Are you getting any early feel of what the budget will look like for next year? I know we came through the pandemic. You don't want any pandemics, but you came through it pretty good. Are we pretty optimistic about what's coming up?
Yeah, it's the ebb and flow, right?
Yeah.
Through the pandemic, when the federal government was providing dollars to everybody, you know, 60+% of the dollars we use comes from sales tax.
Sure.
You know, so a lot of people were using those stimulus checks to buy whatever it is they were buying, and we appreciate that they did. You know, it's still there. First preliminary, looking at 23, our tax budget is slightly down, and that's just a projection to be slightly down, but that's fine, right? We got to keep our belts tight. It makes it interesting going into the budget conversations, because the cost of doing business, regardless of what it is not going down.
Right.
So we're just very fortunate that we have the team of elected officials and department heads doing the job that they're required to do, you know, within those means. And it'll be a fruitful conversation over the next couple of months.
Is there anything department-wise that you've heard of, somebody's giving you a heads up and say, hey, we might need this or that's got a little more big-ticket dollar to it?
So anytime that you're looking at the next year, and it's really how do you do something better, more efficient,
Sure.
And those conversations are great. And again, when they're brought to us, we have to take that into consideration. But again, you got to look at the dollars and cents that you have. You know, the court, you know, is always a big one. And through COVID, there was a backlog, but they pushed through it. We have some pretty big cases that we're talking with the prosecutor's office. You know, it takes money to do these things, and the larger the situation is, the more it costs. So it's good that we have the early on conversations to prepare going forward.
You mentioned some of the federal dollars. It seems like Allen County's got the local government's got a good relationship with state and federal lawmakers, and that benefits everyone.
We're very fortunate.
Yeah.
In our association down in Columbus, we talk, you know, you look at Senator Huffman and Representative Cupp, you know, Congressman Jordan, very fortunate here. And you know, when they say, hey, you need to talk to your congressman or your state elected official, they take our call. I mean, at any time. You see them out and about around Lima here. So, yes, we are very fortunate. It's what we know. You talk to others, it's not what they know.
Right.
So we are fortunate to have those men, you know, there, and we look forward to having Susan, you know, as our state rep, you know, coming in next year.
Natural gas aggregation, Beth and I talked a little bit about, but that's moving along pretty quickly.
Yeah, thank you very much. November, the unincorporated areas will be voting on it here in Allen County. We have the electric aggregation. It's been over a decade that the voters voted on that. It's saved an incredible amount of money, and you look at where utilities are today. This one is the gas aggregation. It's important. The November election will be on the ballot. If and when it passes, there's going to be an implementation period, so it won't happen instantly, but it'll take us some time to get everything. It's just the process that's laid out, but we encourage everybody to take a look at that and give it strong consideration.
A full circle, does the utilities aspect of your budget, is that something you're like, that's going to...
We just had our meeting this morning with our buildings and grounds, who oversees our utilities, and it's been something for the last couple months, and he said probably next month, or at least the next six weeks, we're going to have to look at moving dollars in, because we're expending most of the dollars we had budgeted. So yes, like everybody else, the counties
it's not cheap, is it?
And you know, when you have a facility, I call it the county hotel, you know, the jail's open 24 hours, 365. It's not cheap.
Yeah, not cheap. All right, Cory, thank you for the update. Appreciate it. Good seeing you. Don't go away. Medical news coming up next on Noon Edition.